The way we do business is changing rapidly thanks to AI agents, and the vast majority of businesses and people haven't fully caught up yet. So in this video, I want to cover 7 major trends that are impacting things like market dynamics, the value of high-touch services, why selling beats building, and various strategies around building audiences. The idea being, if you learn these 7 AI trends, you'll be positioned a lot better to build a successful business over the course of the next 5 to 10 years. If you haven't met me before, my name's Ethan. I personally generated over 80 grand in the past 6 months by using these exact principles, so I know they work. So without further ado, let's dive into these principles. So the first principle is audience still wins. And this is the idea that the product alone isn't going to take you where you want to go. You need product and distribution is actually where the IP is going. When you can essentially use a tool like Lovable to create a software application in a matter of minutes, then software is no longer the IP and it's distribution. Your ability to gather audience around your ideas and to add value to them is where your IP is. And because we're seeing the rise of, like I said, instant SaaS products, where the product creation happens, AI tools create it, then the competitive edge is the ability to distribute that product, which is what will help you achieve market dominance. Whereas product quality, although it's good, AI is just getting better and better at creating super high quality products in a matter of minutes. So the next one I want to talk about is strategy and innovation beat technical expertise. So this is actually a really big one. I see this time and time again with people in the AI agent space, where the primary focus is learning the best AI agents, learning how to create the best possible AI system. And don't get me wrong, learning AI systems and N8N and learning how to build stuff with AI is extremely important, but it's not the most important thing. The strategy, the figuring out why you're building something in the first place, why it's going to add value, how to position it in front of someone so that they can see the value of it, that's actually more important. And from what I've seen, the people that are really good at strategy and really good at positioning the value of what they're doing make 10 times more money than the people that just are really good at building and are really technical. So business used to be about execution, and now it's about speed to market, right? And so understanding both speed to market and understanding what you're building, because now AI lets you go 100 miles per hour or 1,000 miles per hour when before you would go 10 miles per hour when you're building something. But now it's like you could go 1,000 miles per hour, so you better know what direction you're heading in. Because if you don't know what direction you're heading in, then you'll just go 1,000 miles in the wrong direction, and then you have to start right back where you started 2 months from now. And so there is actually a value in the strategy, and this is what I'm working on with my team right now, of testing out different offers rapidly so we can build AI systems. And this all comes back to strategy as well, though. When you're starting out, you don't know what offers are going to work, what markets are going to be receptive to those offers. So your primary goal is, how do I be as strategic as possible about creating hypotheses of the types of offers that I think are going to crush, and then let me just rapidly test those with the market and see how receptive the market is to those offers. And if the market is receptive, even just a little bit, then you double down, you build a landing page, you go deeper. And so figuring out what to build and why is the most important thing. And so, as I said before, it used to be about execution. Now it's about speed to market. And the rapid execution requires that you know what to execute on. And in the future, it's going to be clarity of what you're building. This brings us to the third one. The entrepreneur is greater than the coder. So again, this is actually pretty similar to the last couple, where technical expertise doesn't beat strategy. This is a different way of thinking about that same principle. Your ability to build sales pipeline and to build marketing pipeline is greater than your ability to build technically complex systems, especially as AI is getting really popular. There's hundreds of thousands, there's millions of people that are quickly becoming extremely proficient at building AI systems, whether in code, whether in no code, whatever it is. And so you have to position yourself as the owner of the business, not a technical person. When you're going and reaching out to businesses, you don't want to say, hey, look at this N8N flow I built. It's so complex. It has 200 nodes. No, you want to go to them and you want to say, hey, so I was looking at your landing page and I was noticing that this is your offer. I'm wondering how receptive that market is to that offer. I'm wondering if we could use this AI system that I built to help you solve this specific problem. Or, hey, I built this AI sales system. I would love to help you get more pipeline. Do you want to do a free trial with me for 1 month? I'll build you pipeline, and if it works, then we can go on a contract, right? The ability to figure out what the offer is, to figure out how to position yourself, and positioning yourself as the consultant rather than the technical person is really important. If you say, hey, I want to be your growth partner. Hey, my team and I have built dozens of different AI systems. I want to figure out how to be your growth partner by figuring out how to automate your business from start to finish. We'll take you from 100K per month to $1 million per month using these 20 AI systems that we know work because we worked with clients. You're going to be able to sell that for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Whereas look at this 200 node AI N8N system. Like, if you're watching this channel, you're probably in N8N all day or make.com. Most business owners don't know what N8N is. When you show it to them, there's the assumption that they're going to understand it. But if I wasn't in this space, like, it's not easy to understand. So the biggest thing is focus on speaking to problems that you're solving and not solutions that you're building. So one of the exercises that I do regularly that I would highly recommend that you do is you go to something like Manus AI, Claude, GPT, Deep Research, Gemini Deep Research, and you say, hey, here are the potential markets I think I could target. Here's the potential offers I have. Here's my skill set. Here's the specific things that I've done. Here's the specific industries that I worked in so far. Help me identify the highest leverage, easiest to solve problems in the markets that I think I should target, or even in new markets. Help me discover new markets. You're using the AI as a strategist. The people that can use AI as a strategist, they can take, especially with these deep research models, they can take the plethora of research and information and access to the internet. You could say, hey, go research all of the top XYZ landing pages on this topic and help me figure out what the targeting is and how I can improve it, right? And then you're going to, in a matter of minutes, in a matter of maybe 1 hour, get a high quality landing page built based on the research of 100 different landing pages in the market, right? So your leverage is so much higher, but you need to know how to use that leverage. Most people get stuck in solution building and being technical and being the coder, when you need to think like an entrepreneur. You need to think about, how do I use AI in these research models to help me more effectively solve problems and speak to the specific things that people are struggling with. And so if you own the results, you can charge significantly more. So let's say you say technical focus, you're asking them about implementation, and you can say, hey, I can build this for you. The implementation fee will be $2,000. Whereas if you say, this system, I guarantee will get you 100 new leads in the next 3 months. And what is the value of those leads for you? Oh, it's you have an average deal size of $12,000 per year because you're charging $2,000 per month with an average churn of 6 months. Okay, well, if we got you 30 more leads, how much would that be worth? 30 more leads would be worth $300,000. Okay, does it make sense to pay $10,000 per month for this system? Oh, of course it does. And then maybe you have some sort of trial period to reduce risk. Boom, it's way better. And so again, if we go back to what we were talking about before, own the results and position yourself as the owner of the business and as an entrepreneur rather than as a technical person. I think we're on 4 now. Yeah, the fourth one is pick one market and go all in, don't dabble. So when you can predict, this is one of the things that I'm actually working on with my team. This is one of the bottlenecks that we're trying to solve for at this moment, is right now we've just been like spraying and praying. We've been sending 30,000 emails per month to all sorts of different industries for all sorts of different offers, trying to figure out what works. We kind of honed in on what works. We've dropped voice agent offers. We've dropped the AI marketing systems for now. We're going to pick that up later, but because there's so much complexity in the prompt engineering of the AI marketing systems, we're sticking with the sales systems. So we're basically going all in on AI lead gen and building out really custom solutions. And so basically why I say all this is because when you have a specific market, so it's like, all right, now we focused on an offer at lead gen, but now we're still trying to find the market, and we're clarifying that. We realized like 3 or 4 different markets that we don't want to target after having lots of sales calls with them. But you want to be able to say, all right, here's the market. We've served at least 5 people in this market. We understand the ins and outs of their struggles, And whenever you're on a sales call, if you worked with the business just like them before, you can basically predict what they're about to say. And any objection you have, you've already thought of it because you've worked with people in this niche. You're going to be able to sell 10 times more effectively when you do that. And so focus on domain expertise, where it's like, okay, don't just build AI systems, build AI marketing systems for creators over 100K on Instagram, and focus on building AI Instagram funnels into landing pages that convert. If you do that, you're going to crush it. But if you are an AI marketing person for every business that books a sales call with you, you're going to reach so much complexity, and it's just going to be a nightmare. And especially if you're going after smaller businesses, they're going to churn, right? They need to feel like you understand their business, not just any business. And so obviously this is higher conversions. Recently, I just revamped my website. Before it was we build custom agents, and now it's we build AI for sales systems that help you scale faster. And I think we have some other messaging down here about who we're targeting. But basically, internally, to kind of be fully transparent, we're switching from we build AI systems for anybody and everybody to we're building out internal sales systems to get super good at this, and we're only serving B2B businesses that have over 50 employees that are making over 500 grand per year. So that's what we're trying to even niche down further than that. We're trying to figure out now what types of businesses that are that big do we want to target. Maybe it's B2B SaaS, maybe it's manufacturing, maybe it's banks that serve B2B, right? We're still testing out some of these different niches, but we're saying we want to get hyper clear on the type of business, because the LTV, the lifetime value of a client, is going to be so much larger when you can speak to their pain points. And if they're slightly bigger, you don't want to help businesses where it's only one or two people, where they kind of see you as their savior and they want you to use AI to solve all of the problems that they ever have. And so the strategy here is exactly what it said. Don't focus on being a generalist because that makes you have really thin margins and you're just competing against other people that are technical. You want to have a specialist, narrow focus. This is lower competition. There's less people in your market, but you charge extremely premium prices. The LTV is longer, the churn is lower, the margins are higher, and this is how you build a sustainable business. And so identify specific knowledge in that industry, become the expert, and then you can charge premium prices. And so if you've ever heard of Alex Hormozi's $100 million offers, the whole idea is that you don't charge based on what it costs. You don't say like, it cost me this much, let's charge double. You say like, let me niche down as much as I possibly can. Let me figure out the exact business that I want to serve. Let me speak only to them. Let me show them that I have results with only that type of business. And then let me charge 10 times, maybe even 20 times what it cost me to build this. So like for the sales systems, that's what we're focusing on, is we're going to get so good at B2B sales systems. And we're testing out prompts and things that spin up campaigns at the click of a button, things that spin up, add leads to campaigns, create new campaigns, test markets, take the data and make decisions off of it. We're hyper focusing on that because we know if we solve this one problem, we'll be able to niche down and be extremely effective. All right, now we're going to go direction, then speed. So this is about getting into flow state. So direction, then speed. So you'll notice a lot of these principles are actually very similar to each other, but they're so important that I wanted to cover them from different angles and create subtle distinctions between them. So the biggest one here is direction and then speed. One of the wrong directions is getting lost in tutorial hell. One of the wrong directions is having an insane level of FOMO. One of the wrong directions is it's kind of like a meta point, but one of the wrong directions is switching directions too many times. And so at the end of the day, your ability to say no to opportunities becomes critical as you scale. My team and I are just hitting a point now where we're adding in a bunch of qualification parameters for the people that we speak to, for the types of things we're offering. We don't want to be the anything AI shop where we just build AI. We want to be the AI lead gen shop where we scale the most insane sales campaigns using AI that anyone has ever seen, because there's a lot of people doing this and not a lot of people doing it well. And so we're starting to say, like, no, we don't want to build this random end-to-end agent for a company for $1,000. We're only going to sell for high ticket for the most, and we're going to try to create the best user experience possible. So we're trying to niche down, narrow down. That's the direction. Now we're going full speed ahead and ruthlessly prioritizing towards that goal. And so the biggest thing is, what experience do you have already? Are there specific businesses that you work in that you understand? Were you a marketer in a previous life? Were you a salesperson in a previous life? Were you an operations person in a previous life? Whatever experience you already have and whatever businesses you already know, that's probably a good place to start. And if I were you, drop all the FOMO of the a million tools on the internet that you could learn. Drop all of the a million tutorials that you could go watch on YouTube about building systems that don't relate to the things that you're already good at, and focus on the deliberate practice and iterating towards one direction. So for us, it's sales. Maybe for you, it's AI marketing systems, and you just want to be the idea is that you should become the best possible AI marketer in the world, such that you can go to a business, you can consult with them, you can upgrade their marketing from 0 to crazy big within 6 months, and you get client testimonials and you focus on that one direction. You're going to make a lot more money and you're going to win. So distractions multiply as AI tools proliferate. So you have to stick with one approach long enough. One of the things here is that if you just do the same thing long enough, you will win, right? Most people, they say, oh, this month I'm going to do marketing. This month I'm going to do a customer service chatbot. And then this month I'm going to do a voice agent. And then this month I'm going to do, right? If you just pick one, I'm going to get the best at recruiting AI systems that solve unique problems for recruiters. And you just stick with that for 6 months, like literally 6 months. And I know it's going to be, this is why it's so hard, because AI is moving so fast. 6 months from now, AI could be completely different. But the idea is who you're targeting should not be different, right? So maybe there's a new AI tool that can more effectively do something. Use it, but only insofar as it supports your ability to serve the one market, niche, and offer that you've chosen. And then create as much mastery as you possibly can and say no to everything that is not that. And it's so hard. I struggle with this. I have typically been a yes man. I've said no, especially starting out with business. It's really easy to say yes to everything because it's like, oh, this is new. I just want to do everything for everybody because I've never received money from strangers to build them stuff, and I've never had multiple clients. So, I mean, if you want to do it for the first couple months, just say yes to everybody so that you can build experience, but frame it as the reason I'm saying yes to everybody is so that I can build experience in multiple different systems, and so that I can learn which systems I actually enjoy building, so that I can choose one of them, right? So most entrepreneurs fail from switching paths too frequently, not from lack of focus. And that's a very big lesson. I'm still learning it. And so here's the kind of side by side. You're either going in multiple directions in a scattered way or discipline in one direction. You're getting surface level knowledge in all domains, which means that anyone that gets into this space is probably going to be able to get your level of expertise within a couple weeks. Whereas if you're in deep expertise, you're building this moat. You're building this moat between yourself and other people. So this is you. This is you. And then this is another person. When you focus and get disciplined, you're going through all of these hurdles. It's hard. You don't know. Maybe it's not selling at first. Maybe you're not realizing what the true bottleneck is. And you're stacking up all of these micro insights and wins, and you're understanding all of these things. Whereas a lot of people, if you're scattered, everyone's on the same page and everyone can learn the same tool and do the same thing within a matter of weeks. But if you're say, I'm only going to service B2B recruiting agencies over 50 employees, and you learn exactly what they're looking for, well, now it's going to take if someone were to enter into that market, it's going to take them 3 to 6 months to get where you are because there's all of these hurdles that you had to go through. So the more hurdles that you can go through in one direction, the more there's going to be a moat. And the more that there's a moat, the more you can charge, the more valuable your services are, the better the customer experience is, et cetera, et cetera. Your knowledge compounds as opposed to being back where you started every single month. And so this is where you'll have breakthrough success. This is where you see people with literally like 100K per month, maybe even more, 200K per month. You don't get to 200K per month with this approach. This approach, in my experience, this scattered approach, you could probably get to 10K to 20K per month, but you're going to have so much complexity. It's going to be basically hell. Whereas this one, you have a systematized product, you have a solution. And because you know it so deeply, you can sell it for high tickets. The customers stay longer. They have lower churn. Because you're selling it for more per month, it's a higher lifetime value. You're getting good testimonials, not bad testimonials, because you're trying to build a new system. And this is infinitely scalable. And it's going to be more fun. You're going to hire people and they're going to have a better time. If you hire people into this business model, you're going to be onboarding new clients every single month. You're going to be offboarding them every single month. You're going to have clients in and out. Your whole problem here is just getting new people in the door. Whereas here, they're going to be working with the same clients for a longer amount of time. They're going to build deeper client relationships. It's going to be more fun. So that's the essence of that. Now, on to the last one. High touch experiences sell better. This is one I actually learned very recently. At the beginning, I could show you some of my systems. Built Make.com systems, N8N systems, Airtable, Google Sheets. There's all of these different... Sorry, people have been telling me my mic is low. I need to move it closer. Hopefully this is better. So the idea here is that sexy demos actually do sell. The ability, how you package it matters, right? People don't, like, your service needs to be good. I'm not just saying build a sexy, lovable app that doesn't actually function. What I'm saying is make it function, but don't forget to focus on the sexy demo where you can be on that sales call and you can show them, here's exactly the high touch user experience that you can get. Give them regular client emails. Spend at least half of your time building it, packaging it really nicely. Use Cursor or Lovable or Windsurf to create a really nice front end where you have all of these. Maybe you have a SQL database or a Google Sheets or an Airtable or ClickUp on the back end, but you connect it to a front end and you give them a URL to go to, and they have this whole like custom SaaS experience, which if you've watched one of my other videos, it takes about 10 minutes to build. So that's where you should focus. And so the biggest leverage is there's having key intervention points with human intervention, human touch points, and the value should be fucking simple to understand. It shouldn't, if you show someone an N8N workflow with 100 modules, the value is really hard to understand. Conceptually, they might kind of understand it, but if you have some sort of demo that takes that N8N system and makes it so easy to understand, someone would be stupid to not understand it, then you can hop on sales calls. You can hop on sales calls and you can show them the demo, and then they're sold. And then they're like, take my money, right? So let's go into the client journey here. There's a decision point, right? You could try to automate every single interaction. You're automating every email. You're trying to save costs. And for certain parts of the business, this is really valuable. A lot of the delivery side of things, you should try to automate it as much as possible and reduce costs. But now when it comes to the high touch service, if you want to offer a service where you're charging over $5,000 a month, it needs to be high touch. And what does that mean? You are personally sending them emails. You are personally building trust with them. There's a premium pricing. And part of this is that because they're paying more, they actually value it more. Like, you think that a lot of people think there's just a race to the bottom. Let's just sell for as cheap as humanly possible. But the opposite is actually true. When you sell for cheap, the expectations are low. Sometimes they're high, but the amount that people invest is low. A lot of the clients are lower quality. You don't have the amount of money in your bank account to deliver them the white glove service that they deserve. they give you a bad testimonial, your reputation goes out the window, etc., etc. So if you charge over $5,000 a month for some of these systems, you now have the money to reinvest into better delivery, better product. It's easier for you to justify spending 5 hours a week reaching out to them, building trust, building loyalty, because they're paying you at least $5,000 a month, maybe more. And so you both automate the delivery and you maintain the human touch on the human side, on the client relationship side. And that's how you scale to the moon. And then, I guess there's one more. Content and brand 10x your speed. So content and brand will 10x your speed. So this is one of the things that I've been learning more recently, and it's this idea that, again, it's different angles of the same thing. We talked about audience, content, and brand. Because AI is getting better and better, in terms of marketing, text channels are dying. What we need is human content. If you show your face, if you show your authentic experience, if you show something genuine as opposed to a generic piece of content, and you like show that, the human side is going to become more and more important, and people will buy the human side. People will buy the authentic experience of listening to a human rather than some really well polished piece of text content. And that is why, if you see my video on vibe marketing, I think a lot of people misunderstand this as like just use AI systems to just blast stuff. Really what it is it's using AI to more effectively research, using AI to more effectively understand the landscape and to ideate, to still be genuine, but to choose the things that you're talking about based on larger quantities of research and data. And then once you're finished recording it, like for these videos, once I finish recording it, then automating the rest of the process. So it automatically pings an editor, a thumbnail designer. It automatically coordinates them. Whenever they're done, it automatically updates them. It writes the descriptions, timestamps. Not yet. It did. But again, I just want to focus on, here's AI says, here's a list of 20 ideas that could be really helpful for me to talk about. Which one of those do I resonate with most? Okay, I'm going to film something on this. Okay, so now I have like a hook that I can read. And then now I'm going to go and I'm going to, freeform this video on these concepts. Like all these concepts are ones that I just freeformed and things that I care about, right? So when you see that text channels are dying, we're thinking about how do you show your face, show the human side more, and then automate the rest. So like the thing that we will focus on in order to build scale, build distribution, is audience. And the depth of your experience is what's most important. When you have deep industry-specific knowledge, when you have deep expertise of a given domain, customers will pay a premium for this. And it's all about like, what are the things that you care about? If someone feels the degree of which you care about something, they're going to trust you more. They're going to want to work with you more. They're going to want to buy your product more. And so again, a single direction, deep expertise, discipline focused, and authenticity, right? Everything I'm talking about here, it's stuff that I've thought about. It's on my mind anyway. Running the business, it's things that I'm thinking about from moment to moment while running the business. And then I'm like, I could create a video about that. Like, my team and I just talked about, a product roadmap for a cold email system that we're building, a cold email software. And there's a lot of things we talked about why lead gen is difficult. What are the specific ways to use AI to improve lead gen? I should like create a video on that. Like this is my thought process. I should create a video on that and talk about the way to level up AI sales systems and lead gen. It's because it came from a conversation I just had with my team. Or again, it's like, this is brand, because this is something that I'm thinking about. I'm not going to go and try to speak on create this AI faceless generator like everyone else is doing. I mean, some people, that might be their passion, and then they're expressing that authentically. But because that is not my passion, faceless videos, what I want to do is be thinking about business strategy and specifically AI business strategy, and deep diving on it and articulating it and understanding it and finding out new things and implementing it and seeing how it works and testing it. These are the things I'm thinking about on a day-to-day basis. So that's why I try to create content on those topics, because those are the things that I'm thinking about. And we're trying internally to create front-end SaaS experiences for our clients. So I'm going to create videos on how to create front-end SaaS experiences for your clients, and that if we're getting results from that, I'm going to say you can get results from that, right? And so it's all about the authentic side specifically. And if you look back to some of my previous videos, I try to add the things I'm interested in. I'm interested in philosophy, in systems thinking, and all of these things. If you go back, it'll be like, what is the future of work? How does philosophy and AI relate? What about mental health and AI? And what are the risks of that and the potential gains? And and then there's also like all this like technical building stuff and AI business strategy. These are all the different things I'm interested in. And so I try to only speak on those because there's genuine intent behind them. And sometimes I created video and I didn't feel that much genuine intent. And then that's signal too, right? If I created a video and I'm like, yeah, that's like really something that seems interesting, then I record a video on it and I'm like, oh, I actually don't care about this topic I'm speaking about as much as I think I do, then I learned that and it's signal, and I realized, oh, okay, I probably shouldn't record a bunch more videos on that thing that I realize I don't actually care that much about. And as a result of doing that, you will start to find the things, you start to follow the tailwind, right? Because I think the only way to build brand and audience is to have that genuine intent, that genuine excitement and inspiration behind what you're speaking about. Because if you don't, you're just going to be going against the grain every single step of the process. And someone that's speaking about the exact same topic, but they have a tailwind behind them and they're not going against the grain, they're going to beat you every time. On a long enough time horizon, they're going to beat you every time, because your degree of resistance to speaking about that thing is going to be higher than theirs. And so the energy that you are using up, that you are wasting in the form of resistance, they're using in the form of creative expression. Whereas if you talk about the thing that genuinely interests you, you have a tailwind, all the energy in your system is being used towards creative expression. Sure, you might feel some resistance, everyone does, but the degree of resistance will be a lot lower. And so you will succeed on a long enough time horizon with enough ingenuity. So I hope these principles were valuable for you. If you want to deep dive on all of these things and how to do them better, I'm hosting 4 calls in the following week about end-to-end mastery, building AI systems, AI business strategy, AI vibe marketing. And my team and I are ruthlessly and relentlessly, I should say, putting together AI agent templates. We have about 15 of them in here right now, or 10 or something. We're putting together dozens and dozens of more AI agent templates, AI marketing, sales, like basically any part of a business that you can automate. What we're doing is we're creating or finding templates that will help you do those better, so that you can just join the community and have access to hundreds of templates. So as you can see, within the next week or two, if you're watching this a week or two out, they'll probably be available by now. We do live calls, and it's a growing community. We had about 150 people last week. So we gained about 50 people this week alone. And so, yeah, there's lots of people learning interesting stuff in here. There's people that want to hire other people. This guy, I'm trying to find his post, but he wants to hire someone to build him an agent, AI agent. And so a lot of these things, you can find them in here. Shameless plug. Thanks for watching, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one.